Hello and welcome to our 2023 Best E-Cargo Bikes video. Today we have some superstars with us. Guys, thank you so much for being here.
Yeah, they say don't work with children and animals, but here we are. Yeah.
So Richard, what's it been like for you how long has it been now since you've had an e-cargo bike?
It's about a year.
Okay, and just tell us, like, how has it changed your life, and you guys, like?
I mean, it's completely opened up London for us, really.
For me, I mean, I've had cargo bikes now for 5.5 years. I don't know how I could actually survive without a e-cargo bike.
So one thing, yeah, my kids, I mean, you guys get bored on the tube, don't you, really? You and the cars, and this one gets car sick. So having an electric cargo bike completely changes the game. No tax, no fuel, no parking issues. Brilliant.
Now, before we get into it, I would just like to highlight, we have the most fantastic e-cargo bike buyer's guide. If you haven't downloaded it, please download it. It's not just from us, it's all about our customers' views as well, and it will really show you which is the best e-cargo bike for your needs and all the magic that it unlocks in life.
Cool, let's get into it. Should we look at some bikes?
Let's do it.
Yeah.
You start off with the long tails and we'll go from there.
We've got the Tern Quickhaul, the Tern HSD P9, the Tern GSD, the Moustache Lundi 20, the Riese Müller Multitinker, and we've got the Benno Boost E.
And I'm going to be going through the Riese Müller Packster 70, the Riese Müller Load 75, the Gazelle Makki, and the Urban Arrow family.
Okay, first up we've got the Tern Quickhaul. So let's wheel it out here. It's been very popular. Now, first of all, these bikes are Bosch powered. Bosch are considered the most reliable, the best performing on hills, best battery life, best resale value. So that's why we specialise in Bosch bikes for family cargo. So the idea of the Tern Quickhaul is to be a nice lightweight bike to carry one child or lots of cargo on the back with pannier bags. You can get a lot of the Tern accessories that fit a lot of Tern bikes. So front racks, different bags. There's a new bag coming here. So loads of options for carrying one kid or your shopping.
I think it's just a great entry-level e-cargo bike, so I think we should do the kid test.
Hazel, can you come and jump on this bike for me?
So Hazel is 6 years old.
That's right. Wow, you found the stirrups. So Tern do what's called a psychic stirrups. It's a new thing. They fold out the way, but your kids can put their feet in them.
I guess the one thing about this bike is it's only got the one kickstand. You can't have a dual kickstand on it.
At the moment, no, they are looking to bring a dual kickstand out, but at the moment, yeah, just a side stand.
I'd say that's one of the only things that I could criticise about this bike. But it's great, comfortable, obviously for one child. So now for the HSD, obviously the setup you can have is the same on the back as the Quickhaul, so we don't need to go into that on this one. But Richard, over to you.
Yeah, the HSD has a nice front suspension, can carry a lot of cargo on the back, one kid.
And what's the weight limit? Should we see if the kids know? What's the weight limit, guys, on this bike? 60 kg on the back.
Yeah, also with a lot of these Tern bikes, they can store on end. And then the HSD has a folding handlebar like that, and it's a little rubber band that holds it all together.
What's the different models again on these?
You've got the P9, which is this model. You've got the P9 Performance, slightly more powerful motor.
Yeah.
You've got the S8i, which is the belt drive with the Nexus steering.
Yeah.
And you have the HSD S Plus, which is the automatic.
Which is beautiful in the bare metal, very, very popular. So now for the Tern GSD, it's kind of like the highlight of the show a little bit, isn't it? I mean, Richard has one personally. I mean, we've got one here, brand spanking new, but we thought we'd actually use Richard's bike, which we've got over here, just to show you what you can do.
Yeah, this is the most sort of popular configuration of the Tern GSD with the Storm box on the back and the clubhouse. So my kids love it. My little girl Hazel here can jump in it. Watch this. So yeah, they get very used to jumping in and out of it.
Rosa, can you jump in as well? Just Ashley's fine there. So this has got the very popular Storm box. Tern are the first to do all of these very clever accessories.
So yeah, you've got like the Bosch cargo line motor. That is 85 Newton meters of torque. It's a really sharp low end torque curve. So the hilliest areas, and you can find these, you'll find loads of parents flying up very steep hills. Dual battery slots are standard with every bike, so you could increase your range should you need to later. They have this dual locking kickstand, which is extremely stable for your kids, and it unlocks with the press of a lever on the handlebars. Very much a bike designed for multiple height adults, designed for sharing with parents. Again, being a Tern, it can be stored on end, you can fold down the handlebars, so a compact cargo bike. It's very popular in cities like London. Loads of accessories you can get as well. Yeah, I've got the transporter rack here. I've got a magnetic bottle that clicks on and off. I've got the most secure hip lock D1000 anti-angle grinder lock, which is very popular with this bike. It's been a game changer for me and a lot of our customers buying family cargo bikes. Yeah,
really does tick every box, the Tern. But you know, they've been out for a while now. There is some very exciting new ones we're going to get into. So yeah, what's next?
Cool. Let's look at the Moustache Lundi 20. Let's wheel it out here.
Quite possibly the best looking out of all of them. I love the fact it's got the cables integrated, it's super stylish.
Yeah, very stable bike. They've really nailed stability with this bike. It's got this dropper seat post, so you can change the height of the seat post with a push of a lever. Very popular for sharing different height parents. They use this Makki system for accessories, which is a clicking system which you can change your accessories around, push of a button, click on and off. Very safe.
And change your child seat configuration. So that would be a great configuration for, you know, like a 3 and a 5, 6-year-old. But if Rosa wanted to go in, you could effectively swap that for the whole bench, much like the Tern GSD. And you can change it and adapt it as the kids get older. I think that's really important. And then even when they're too old, it's not like you have to sell it, you know, you could just carry on using it as your car, you know, because these aren't just for kids. It's a really important point. You know, they are for everything. You know, they are a household product. Double battery as well, belt drive option, NVOLO.
Then the Bosch cargo line motor, again, same as the GSD, 85 Newton meters of torque. Another cool feature about the Moustache Lundi 20 is the rail system here called the Albert. It's with the bike as standard, so that's great. I mean, Moustache like to name a lot of their accessories actually off famous people with moustaches. Yeah. So the Albert is one of those. I learned that. I went to the factory myself in France. Wonderful family vibe at the factory. And
I like the little kind of attention to detail, how like the kids' hands are going to be protected there if the bike was to be dropped on its side. Thank you for our little models. Would you like to jump out, Hazel? Okay. Nice and easy, nice and stable. So what you're noticing here is even on like uneven terrain like this grass, you can leave the kids in it, and you know, like it's more important like when you're outside a shop or something and nipping in to get like, I don't know, a bottle of wine or whatever it may be, and that's you know, outside the shop, boom, 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 really quick. City life just becomes so much easier. It's so important. Hey, you've just pickpocketed my phone. What?
They did that to me as well, Ben.
Oh my goodness. The next one I think is the most exciting. I mean, I'm a huge fan of Riese Müller. I personally ride the Riese Müller front end, so we're going to go into that in a bit more detail. But for now, we're going to unveil the Multitinker. Ashra, would you like to jump in? Can you actually jump in this one by yourself? I don't think she's tried before, so this is a good test. Oh, clever. So Ashra is 3. Are you 3, Astrid?
3.5.
Oh, sorry, 3.5. And who wants to jump in the back?
How would you do this
Rosa,
one?
how old are you?
I'm 10.
So 10 years old, and it's actually, you can actually put an adult in the back of these quite comfortably, and then you can manoeuvre it quite well as well if you want to sit down. And putting the stand on is nice and easy too. And there we go.
Cool, yeah, I've taken it home, tested it with my sproglets. They love it. It's got some really cool features. So, I mean, one cool thing about the Riese Müller Multitinker is the integrated Bosch battery, which is still removable with a key. So you've got the 625 watt-hour battery, huge range. So it's the first mid-tail family cargo bike we've got with the Bosch brand new Bosch smart system.
So I actually went to the Riese Müller factory and we've done a full in-depth review on this bike. So please make sure you have a look at that video if you're interested. It's a really exciting new product, and again, we always have these in stock for you to come and try out, and we order them in advance, so we've got them ready for people to take away same day or next day. And that is one of the things that differentiates us from other dealers. Most dealers don't carry stock of these bikes because with Riese Müller their model is to pre-order them and they're custom built for you. we know that. We've been selling Riese Müller for 10 years. We pre-order them and we've got them much quicker than anyone else.
I'm just going to spin the bike around here and show you. It's got a glove box. So it's a combination lock glove box, and you can fit a huge amount of stuff in here. So you can put a lock, you can put all your sweets or whatever you want. You've got a Bosch motor with 85 Newton meters of torque. It's a CX this time, slightly different torque curve, but you've got the same power on a hill. Huge area at the back here. Probably one of the bikes here with the longest area for kids, but still a compact bike.
So just in closing for this, one thing that's really important is you can actually have this as a proper household product and be 5 foot or 6'6". This is fully tilt adjustable here for longer riders and sporty and geometry positions. And yeah, it's watch the full review if you're interested. It's a great review.
Really love this front rack as well. In testing with my kids, I think this is so well designed with the hooks under here and the straps. You can get a load on this front rack.
Very, very nice low step as well. So if you've got a bad back or a bad knee or anything, very easy to get over and on. So in this lineup, last but not least, is the Benno Boost.
Yeah, again, we've done a video on the Benno Boost. In fact, we've even done an interview with Benno himself about this bike and the Remy Demi, another one of their family bikes.
Remy Demi, we haven't got here today, but it is a really cool bike. It's sometimes people think of it, you know, not just for families and for kids.
The whole idea of Benno bikes like this is that it doesn't have to be a family cargo bike. It's a bike that can be anything. So if you look at their accessory range, there's a surfboard holder. there's all sorts. There's loads of different ways of configuring this. And maybe once your kids are all grown up, you could take all that off and it just be a nice leisure bike.
And yeah, the idea of it is literally built for life, and you can adapt it. And even if you've got a 3-year-old Benno Boost, in 5 years time you can still fit all of the new accessories that come out. So the Mark 1 is compatible with the Mark 4 kind of, you know, so it's just very well designed, and that's one of his main things about utility, is how it fits into your life, and you know, they don't leave you kind of stranded like with a new Apple charger or whatever it may be.
I think the other thing we should mention is obviously a lot of the bikes we've covered here, the rear loaders, have got 20-inch wheels, and the reason for that is to keep the centre of gravity nice and low, makes it easy to balance. What we've got here is slightly bigger wheels, so 24-inch wheels, give it a bit more of a leisure feel when you're riding compared to those. So
good for like the beach as well as the city kind of thing. Really is a multi-purpose kind of multi-tool. I'm a huge fan of the brand and the people behind the brand.
Yeah, it's important to note these bikes are not just for cities like London. We've got stores around the country. We've got partner stores in Guildford, Cornwall, Silverstone, and now
New Forest as well. We're very happy to have that.
Yeah,
and
we got these all test. We can test ride all of these bikes.
You can test ride them in, you know, their natural habitats. Test ride them in different places. Go and speak to experts. You know, I mean, we are hugely passionate about this category of e-cargo bike, and we also have a creche now as well. So yeah, we have a child's area, which is great. On Saturdays, it is literally like a creche. But yeah, it's great to bring your kids and try them out with your kids. Okay, so we're now going to go into the front loaders, and this is what I've been riding for 5 years now. So originally I had the old Packster, and now we've got the new Packster. We've just changed from load to Packster, and Wolf, what do you like, by the way? Which one do you like? Do you like this one or the old one?
I think both.
Oh, okay, good answer, good answer. And can you show us how easy it is to get in this one?
Oh my God. Wow, that is one way.
It's not quite as easy as the load. Astrid, can you get into this one as well? So it's got a little notch for your foot there.
Ow.
Come on, Astrid, that's it. That's it, go on, that's it, that's it.
Almost.
Come on, there we go. For an older kid, it's really nice and easy to get in. Now, how comfortable she is inside, this is a really good test, because Rosa is actually quite tall. So there you go. So you've got 8-year-old and 5-year-old who's really like a bit of a Viking. So he's like,
she's 10. She's 10 then.
Sorry. But here's really important as well. Now, if you want to bring the camera in here, what you can do is you can actually put them in business class now by doing that. So you can tilt them back so they can have a nice little snooze.
How comfy is that? You can even get headrests here. Ben hasn't got it on his, but you can get these headrests for the new Packster 70, so you can go here. Also with the Packster 70, you now can order this bike with the Control Tech.
So Control Tech is basically Riese Müller's language for full suspension, so rear suspension. And it's basically all about comfort and control for both the rider and the passengers, and I'd highly recommend it, especially if you want to go off the chosen path and go exploring. So why do I choose a Packster? I love it because of the high box, the kids love it, the turning circle's amazing with the new cable steering, absolutely amazing. Loads of variations with dual batteries, different gearing options.
Got a cool glove box.
Wicked glove box as well that you can do to chuck things in. And yeah, you literally just pop that open. You know, keep my sunglasses in here for mine and the kids. Ashford, I've got your sunglasses. I forgot they were in here. There you go. So next we're going to get into the Riese Müller load. Now I say just load because there's quite a few variations now. There's the new load 4, which is the new model. You can see our review, which highlights the differences in between the standard typical load that's been out for a while and the new load 4 with the smart system. And you can have it in 60 and you can have it in 75. This here is 75.
That's just a difference in the box length. They're very similar to ride, both the lengths, but some people don't need the longer length. And they're still producing the load 75 as well as the load 475 and load 460. So
the reason for that, why they're still producing them, is because Roloff hasn't quite yet integrated with the new Bosch smart system, and neither has Bosch with their double battery system. So Riese Müller are going to continue to produce them in parallel until all the options are available.
Every customer who has one of these is absolutely bowled over. It's a mountain bike to put your kids in.
That's a great actually analogy and description there. I really like that. It literally is a full sus mountain bike, cargo bike.
And the cool thing about these front loaders is more of an interaction with your kids perhaps than the rear loaders. So when you're talking to them, you're not having to turn around and shout. They're right there. You have a quieter conversation, which is nice.
Really engage with them. So if you have the space, it's a no-brainer. But then, I mean, someone might go, well, it's a no-brainer, but hang on a minute, what about the price? And it's like, well, actually, the price, don't be put off by the price, because there's creative ways to pay. I mean, in store, Richard, you must have this conversation.
Yeah, I mean, I'd say a huge amount of customers are buying these through cycle to work schemes or finance, and they are, you know, cycle to work scheme, you can save anywhere from 32 to 47% on a bike like this.
I mean, on a 10 grand bike, that's a lot. That's like 3 or 4 grand saving, and then it's got its residual value as well.
Yeah.
So after 2 years or 3 years, if you wanted to change it, or you know, or part exchange it, I mean, they're still worth like 50% residuals. So then if you get a cycle scheme and you part exchange it for 50%, it's only costing you really like a few percent to 20%, which is like, you know, 500 quid to a couple of grand over 3 years. I mean, it's really.
The thing is with these Riese Müllers as well, you don't have to configure them to be a 10,000, 11,000 pound bike.
Yeah.
You start about 7. You can alter the gearing, the battery sizes, the displays.
Config,
you know, you could go mad with it and get the absolute top spec, but you don't need to.
So while we've got our precious cargo here, this is a great time. Can you squeeze in there, Hazel? So it's a bit tight with 10, 6 and 3, but you could do, I mean, honestly.
We're 19.
You're 19? Oh, all together? Okay, so yeah, you could fit one 19-year-old in here, and that's about the top age, yeah? Is that what we're saying?
I mean, you took your partner in labour in one of these.
I took Ebba in labour to Homerton Hospital to have a baby in here, and you can watch that on our, I actually GoPro'd it as well.
The baby wasn't born in the bike, although that'd be a first.
So look, it's a bit tight here for total age 19, but I mean, you could do it. But for 2 of them, Hazel, if you jump out, now would you be comfy, Rosa? Yeah, so just like, you know, it's great for 2 kids, but you can take 3 unless you had 3 very small kids.
I think that this bike is a little bit of a squeeze for 3 kids, and one of them being quite tall, but that's kind of where our customers tend to lean towards looking at our next bike, which is the Urban Arrow family.
So the Urban Arrow family has got a huge amount of space in it. It's a bit more like a van, you know, I would say.
I would say it's like the Dutch Land Rover.
Yeah, that's a good. I mean, you really have got a huge amount of space in this. This is the biggest out of the ones that we sell OEM. We have had some customers that have actually bought the XL business version and build wooden boxes themselves and be able to fit like 2 or 3 or 4 big older kids with bikes and everything. So there are lots of options, but we're going to stick to the factory OEM bikes.
I mean, the Urban Arrow family is so popular in Holland, it's even a hire bike on the streets of Holland. Incredibly stable to ride, very upright. You see people riding around one-handed with a coffee even. That's how stable they are. I won't advise it, but that's how stable they are. And just huge amounts of space. They do different versions of this bike, they do different motor options. However, in the UK, we generally push people towards a higher powered cargo line motor, because in Holland, obviously it's flat. In the UK, it's a lot more hilly, you kind of need that power. There's also, they've now brought out the anniversary edition of this bike, which is like a brushed aluminium. Yeah. It's got the automatic Enviolo gearing, so you don't have to change gear.
It's really, really good looking actually, and it's nice. So you can put the second bench option, and you can fit, you know, like what we were trying to do in the load before. You could fit 4 kids pretty comfortably.
Yes, you get the front bench. You can get car seat. Maxi cozy adapters. Yeah. You can get even a Yep mini seat here facing this way for a little one. Obviously the rain covers on all of these bikes, cargo lids.
So as you can see, like, this is really important here. Like, while you're riding, they're having actual banter and really enjoying it, and they get to where you're going like fully charged. You know, they get to where you're going like in a good mood, feeling great, full of energy. And you know, again, this is just why these are the future. The last front-loading cargo bike we're going to talk about, probably not my favourite, but the Gazelle. Girls, do you want to jump in there and show how easy it is to get in?
This is the Gazelle Makki Load Platinum. They do 2 battery versions. The Platinum is the larger 500 watt hour. It's a great entry-level option in terms of these box bikes. You know, it's still a Bosch powered bike. You go down to a slightly less powerful motor than the others, so you got the performance line, which is 65 Newton meters of torque. But maybe you live in an area that doesn't have extreme hills, you don't need all that power. It has a kickstand that pops up really quickly with just a quick release. You have a really cool carry handle on the back for manoeuvring the bike around. But yeah, compared to the others, it's a lot more entry level. But in terms of price,
it's their first cargo bike, isn't it, Gazelle?
It's Gazelle's first go at cargo bike, and it's a really good first attempt. And I think for the money, I think the competitive products for the money, this absolutely is the best way to go.
I mean, like for sub £5,000, yeah, it is definitely the best option, which is why we have it. But if you're comparing this to an Urban Arrow or Riese Müller, in my honest opinion, there isn't much comparison. The centre of gravity, I mean, look, let's just cut to it. It doesn't ride anywhere near as good as one of those. That's basically my honest view on it.
I think it's a higher centre of gravity. They feel a lot more stable. Not that this is unstable, it's just a different feel. It takes slightly longer to get used to, maybe.
Okay, at this moment, I'd like to say thank you for our wonderful superstars. You guys have been amazing. Thank you so much.
Starving, I'm sure.
Yes.
Well, we've agreed to give them we like to look after our staff here at Fully Charged.
So it's worth mentioning that at Fully Charged London Bridge, we've got the largest e-bike service centre in the country. We're very fortunate to have that, very lucky, and it's a great resource for our customers, and we even have cargo specific mechanics.
And when you buy an e-cargo bike from us, you have lifetime support from us, you know, and it's really important. We really enjoy doing this kind of stuff. So hit us up with the comments. Tell us what you want to see differently. Any questions? We're there. You know, subscribe to our newsletter. Follow our channels. All right. Well, thanks again for watching. See you next time.
See ya.